back for part two. I don't know what happened. Saying sorry to you for stopping the stream like that. I don't know what happened. Everything just shut down on me. I'll figure out after this. If it shuts down again, I'll just do what I can do. But yeah, I'll just get the open the folder back up. Yeah, that was odd. So yeah, I just kind of labeled this stream as part two to day 11, and hopefully it looks like some of the files were already created. Um, all right. Let's see. Going back to Gemini. All right, so picking up where I left off, just started cursor back up, and I got the folder back in there. When I transferred the folder over, I noticed there were already some files written. What should I do to basically find out where I'm at if I need to rerun that first prompt over? Let me know what you think. Yeah, that was interesting. All right, so don't worry about the extra files. Cursor and Claude use. So now you guys know what to do if this ever happens to you. If your computer ever shuts down, what Gemini thought was basically like, I was doing a lot at once, and it could either be that or like some like random graphics card needed to do an update for Windows. And because I just got this new desktop with like double the power as my laptop, and I checked the task manager, and it's only running at like less than 50%. I don't think it was that because I've been like running Claude like way more than this with everything else going. So it sounds like it was some kind of weird update. But yeah, if this ever happens to you, yeah, it's not that big of a deal because it says there's some folders that they usually create during a project before the actual code starts. And then since the crash happened while Claude was likely mid-thought, the brain of the session might be a little scrambled. I don't need to return the entire prompt, but I do need to perform a vibe check to see exactly what Claude finished. So that sounds good. My system crashed mid-session. I see some files in the folder, but I need a status report. List the files you successfully created. Did you finish the prd.md file? I don't even think I started making that yet. Wait, yeah, I did. Okay. If you haven't finished step one of our plan, please finish it now and stop. If you did finish it, just give me a summary where we are and wait for my next instruction. Sounds good. Back to it. All right. Hopefully this time, no issues, right? Yeah, that was annoying though, but yeah, back in the flow. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to copy and paste what Claude is telling me from that prompt and get back to it. Let's see. The status report. So yeah, if you're just tuning back in, I crashed. First time this has happened. So basically, I had to learn what was going on. I still don't know why I crashed. I can figure that out later. And it sounds like it was some kind of update. But essentially, Gemini is telling me that Claude Code should be all right. It gave me a prompt to give it to find out like what was happening during the crash, and I'm just about to paste the response in from that. So, and then I'm gonna get like a summary from Gemini, but you can see the response right here in the window. So this is a perfect clean slate moment. Claude has a skeleton, but it has no idea who's moving in. Has the house built, but doesn't know who's moving in. Since it lost its memory in the crash, I need to feed it the full vision again so it can document it in the blueprints folder. Here's the exact response to give to Claude. Yeah, I'm running at like 40% of my RAM, so that was what it thought it was, and I'm like, I don't think so. Anyways, combines the core vision, the traffic light system, and the master gauge math into one package. Okay, so essentially I'm just giving it like where it left off the rest of the instructions. And that was annoying. Okay, but like every problem is a solution, and no need to stress over anything that is not affecting my health. So yeah, I'm just learning from it. I know what to do now. Like I understand better if it gets shut down in the middle of a prompt, in the middle of it doing something. Just basically like go to a LLM or ask Claude, like, where did you, what have you done so far? Where did you finish? And then I can go into LLM that understands the prompt that I originally gave it. And it can tell it like where it left off, where to pick back up. Okay, so just gonna copy that what Claude says it did to finish and make sure that it is everything is good so far for this step. And like right when it crashed, I was like thinking about this is it called the MD folder. So I'm gonna skip the MD folder today because for some reason that feel like that kind of brought some bad luck. keep the vibes right. And I understand the MD folder now. I was thinking before the MD folder was like something I do new for each project. But yeah, now I get it. It's like I want to make an MD folder. And I can probably just do that off stream, like make an MD folder that will be for the rest of the apps that I build for the phase one, the 30 apps. And this should be, just make things easier. So this is a huge milestone. Successfully recovered from a total system crash and now have a professional grade foundation. The flight plan PRD and flight manual style guide are safely stored in the blueprints folder. Now we move to step 2. Alright, so I'm going to go back to my document where I save the steps, and I'm going to make sure that that step 2 is right, that this is the right prompt, this is like matching my vision. So we got the theme and the layout. Want to get color background in the basic grid where the 4 cards engage will sit looking right. So that's all it's doing. Awesome. So it's saying reference the global style guide MD folder and PE pilot PRD MD. I don't know that I made both of those. Yeah, I did not make the style guide, I don't think yet. So I don't think that I made the style guide MD yet for this project. Are you sure that that's already there? Did Claude Code say that that already exists? Claude claimed that it created it, but in the heat of vibe coding session, especially after a crash, AI can sometimes hallucinate that it finished a task when it only planned to do it. So how to verify? Get the file folder, open the blueprints folder. Do I see global style guide MD in there? Yes, I do, and it's got the code for it. Okay, yeah, it's good. No, it's there. Okay, yeah, I do see that that style guide MD folder in there. Just checking to make sure. So I know if something like that is missing and it keeps going with it, it might run into problems later. Okay. So the next prompt is the global style guide and PE pilot PRDMD requirements for this step. Clean mobile first layout, search bar, the flight gauge, and then the 4 flight check cards. Card 1 is the sector info, card 2 is the value trap info, card 3 is the trust meter info, card 4 is the growth info, and then telling it to stop. Once the UI components are rendered and looking sharp, do not add any real data fetching yet. I want to approve the look first. Great idea. Yeah, I'm really glad I added that extra step to each prompt now to stop Claude from like going on its own and trying to create what it thinks I want. So alright, so back to the terminal. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna sit down for a minute. Yeah. So if you're just joining in, essentially I'm building an app for beginner investors that will explain the PE ratio of stock and give out the read. And I was going with the flow, moving pretty good. Just got like the first prompt into Claude Code to create the file structure and to do like a certain file with kind of like instructions that it can refer to so it doesn't get off course that I've never done before. And my whole computer crashed. The whole screen just went white and Claude Code shut down. Everything shut down. I had to figure out, what was going on, reboot it. So I just started this new live stream as part 2 to today. And yeah, I apologize for the interruption and just try to learn from what happened. I had to go back and essentially figure out where Claude stopped and where it left off, and then I was able to figure out with a prompt where it left off, and then give it another prompt to like continue what it was doing on that step, make sure everything was all right as far as like it didn't have any problems from the shutdown. Learned a few things from that, and looks like looking at the instructions right here of what it did, step 2 is complete, build passes with 0 errors, and I'm gonna get a kind of like a quick summary of everything it did. I'm reading as much as I can to understand it, but also it helps to copy and paste this into an LLM and get like a summary. I'm asking Claude to act as a front-end architect. Since Claude is working in a Next.js 15 environment, it might try to use client components for the gauge, especially if it uses framer motion or lucid icons. If you see an error about use state or use effect after Claude finishes, just tell it add use client at the top of the file. All right, so I want to do the npm run dev. And check out the local file. Should give me the URL for the local file. All right. Now I will show you guys what I'm doing to see if it works. Switch over to the browser. And try, okay. Yeah, so we got basically like, let me see, gotta move my screen. Yeah, we basically got like, what the site's gonna look like, and it looks good to me as far as I can see. Yeah, I like how it looks. So, yes, everything so far so good. All right, I am happy with the look. And one thing I thought to mention that I'm guessing I should have mentioned before is that I did not bring up the API key yet. Um, do I need an API key for this? And I guess like what API key do you recommend? And when should I put the API key into the folder? Okay, so it's better that we waited. Set up the UI before the API. Um, for a project like this, I do have a few solid API key options. Saying FMP. Um, I had problems with FMP picking up the most recent data, so I'm not going to do that. Alpha Vantage. So I had some problems with Alpha Vantage, but then Yahoo Finance. I don't want to use Yahoo Finance because if that's not really an API, it's just like scraping information. So if they change their website, then it can break down my app. So think think I should go with Alpha Vantage for this one. And let me see, to get my Alpha Vantage key, I already have that created and it's working on a different app. Um, let's see. I'm gonna ask it about like Tingo and ask it what it means by that the Alpha Vantage sector data can be a bit clunky to parse. Can you explain more about what you mean by the Alpha Vantage sector data could be a bit clunky to parse? Also, I have a Tingo API key, so let me know what you think between those two. Okay, they're saying if I have a Tingo key, I'm in a good spot because Tingo is famous for being stable and clean. However, there's a specific reason that they mention the clunky nature of sector data with Alpha Vantage, and Tingo has a similar hurdle. To build the sector map card comparing a stock to its peers, the app needs to know two things. What sector is the stock in? Oh, I see what they're saying. So, like Apple stock would be technology. What is the average PE for that sector right now? Most standard APIs are great at giving you the data for a single ticker. They're not as good as giving you aggregated sector averages in one simple call. The Alpha Vantage often requires you to download a massive CSV of sector performances or call multiple endpoints to find out where a stock lives and then manually calculate the average. Okay, I can tell already like this is going to be some new challenges. This is going to be like more math than I've done, more data that I got to get than I've done before. So yeah, I'm going to be hopefully learning a lot of new things and hopefully learning more with minimizing mistakes. But yeah, we'll see what happens. So Tingo is excellent for prices and fundamentals, aka PE ratios. Um, but finding the current average for like the S&P 500 energy sector usually requires a separate data set or some clever coding. So comparing the two, since I already have Tingo, let's use that. It's much more reliable for 30 app for what I'm doing because the uptime is fantastic. I can get the daily fundamentals, which include the PE and PEG ratios we need, but it won't easily give me the sector average. The workaround for the stream, we should do a hard code, a sector reference table inside the app. This is actually better for beginners because the sector average doesn't change wildly every 5 minutes. Updating this table once a month is enough to keep the app accurate without making the code 10 times more complex. So still I would have to update this table once a month to get the sector average. And I feel like there's got to be a way around that, having to update it. So it's telling me to like create the file for the API key. And it recommends to have Claude build the data engine using mock data first. This will allow me to finish the vibe of the app today. Once the lights are flashing correctly with fake data, I can swap the mock numbers for the real Tingo numbers. No, I want to do it right. I want to like show people like how to do this right. I don't want to like show you how to do fake data. I want to show you how to do the real data. But I want to better understand essentially, let's see. Essentially, I want to better understand like why it needs me to update it. Like, why couldn't I just like code something in that could I think it's just the sector average, right? Okay, so what's going on is I'm building a app for beginner investors in regards to understanding PE ratio for buying stocks. So essentially, I'm just kind of getting started with the project. I went and I did the planning and started up Claude Code to create the folders. You can see right here, I just got the site built as far as like the design, what it's gonna look like, but the data's not in it yet. I'm giving beginner investors a tool that can help them learn when it's a better time to buy a stock, and these are all things that not only are very difficult for beginners to understand, that I'm going to be explaining with this app, that they should be able to understand it all in like 5 minutes or less of putting in a stock, but also like the math that it's doing, that it's giving these like the read on a certain stock is something that would even be difficult for like very experienced investors to figure out. So without a doubt, this is something that, I think can provide a lot of value to people that are trying to get more abundance, trying to, get into the investing game, and focus on the main thing a beginner should focus on is not losing money. So once you get the understanding of how to not lose money down, and the right time to buy, then you can go on to actually focusing on making money, and then learning like the right time to sell. But for beginners, I would always recommend to like go into it like buying and holding for a long time. So now what I'm doing is I'm like kind of planning what API I should use. So the API is essentially like where I'm gonna get the information for this app. And what it's telling me is like I've tried a few of the different financial sector APIs now. They have different ones that give different kinds of information, and I've run into different problems with each one. And they're telling me that essentially that there might be a problem for like one of the features that I have for this app. So they're telling me like I might have to come like once a month and like update the data for that one feature. But I'm trying to like see if there's a workaround for that so that I don't have to like update it so it automatically does it. Cause I'm thinking for what it needs to do, like there should be a way. But yeah, I'm gonna find out. So are you saying that the sector average is really the only issue that you're seeing to where I would have to like manually come and update something once a month? Saying, yup, in the world of stock data APIs, sector averages are considered premium data. Most affordable APIs will tell you everything about Apple, but they won't tell you the average of every tech company combined unless you pay for a much higher tier. Okay, so why a reference table is actually better for you consistently. Sector PEs don't fluctuate like stock prices. The fair value of a utility company stays pretty much the same for years. Okay. So they're saying it's not that big of a deal. And also, like, I'm seeing now that, like, if it stays like that long, I'm just doing the free API for right now. And then when I monetize this, in like a month or two or something like that, then I'll just get the paid API and this will not be an issue. Uh, there needs to be a pane for explaining what do these mean, and my screen is frozen. Thanks for letting me know. So explaining what do these mean? These in regards to, I'm not really sure what you mean, like what you want to know more of, and I definitely want to make the stream better to help people understand more. So yeah, just let me know what you mean by these. I guess like what do the apps mean? Like what the code is doing mean? I'm not quite sure. But let's see. I'm gonna see if I can fix this frozen screen real quick. All right, so I think what I'm gonna do in regards to that issue is I'm just gonna use the um the free API key right now, and then I think by like a month or two I will have switched to a paid API key anyway. So there won't be an issue for me to update everything. So before I go forward, I just got a comment from somebody from YouTube saying that my screen is frozen. Can you help me troubleshoot this? Okay, maybe it wasn't that it was frozen, but that it's just I'm not running any code right now. Um, let's see. Check the red box in OBS. Don't see any red outline. Disable the hardware connection. Let's see. Try something. Yeah, I think I see what you mean. Okay. Yeah, that is strange. Um, it's definitely frozen in YouTube. Man, what is going on today? Just got this new desktop and now I'm having all these crazy problems today that don't make sense. Okay. Yeah, I see what it is. It's not even like the cursor browser. It's like, it's just stuck on. Okay, so it's not like the browser that's frozen. I'm looking at the YouTube screen and it's basically like stuck on the same screen it was from like, I don't know, 10 minutes ago. And Twitch is still like even like it's looks like it's uploading, so I have no idea what's going on. Um Let me know what you think I should do. And yeah, do all this work to like get everything going good and it's just like this stuff happens. But I guess I'll learn what's going on and want to make sure it never happens again. Yeah, this is not going to work with this frozen screen, so I think I'm going to have to uh just restart it. Do a part 3. Weird. Yeah, now it's like, huh. Yeah, it says excellent and I can see myself and it's like, I don't know, guys. Let me know if my screen is frozen. Let me know what you're seeing, cause yeah, this is really strange to me. Someone in the comments said it's frozen, but it could have like picked back up now, and now it's working. Um, okay, so now basically what I see is like I can see myself talking, or at least like my like mouth moving in the YouTube Studio window, and the Twitch says that it's like still loading. It just shows a black screen with it loading, but it looks like the screen is moving again. It's just like at a lag. So, what do you think I do? Do you think I should just keep going with this, or do you think I should like shut everything down and restart it? Yeah, it's such a big lag. I feel like I should just restart it. Uh, and this is annoying, but all right, that's the best thing to do, I think, for you guys to get the right views. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna shut everything down and restart it.